So, what's the real secret sauce behind everything Elon Musk does? It's not just about the rockets or the electric cars. It's something deeper. It's his mindset. Today, we're going to break down 5 of his core principles that totally challenge the way most of us think and work. And this isn't just another list of tips, okay? Think of it more like a new operating system for your own ambition. All right, so let's start with the single biggest thing that holds almost everyone back: the trap of good enough. You know what I'm talking about. It's that comfortable path, the one with the least resistance. It's where most people and, frankly, most companies live. But here's the catch. It's a one-way ticket to mediocrity. And this right here, this is the foundation for everything else we're going to talk about. It's the reason he doesn't just make things a little bit better. He completely blows up entire industries and starts over. This absolute refusal to accept good enough, well, that's the core of his whole philosophy. So that leads us to the big question, right? What is it that really separates his way of thinking from the rest of us? Well, it's not some magic trick. It's actually a set of principles that, when you put them all together, create this incredibly powerful engine for innovation. So let's dive into the first one, because it's the most important of all. Okay, lesson number 1, and you really got to get this one. Thinking from first principles. This is Musk's secret weapon. It's how he shatters conventional wisdom. It basically means you stop building on top of what everyone else has already done. Instead, you tear it all down to the absolute, most basic foundation. So what does that actually look like? It means you literally ignore how things have been done before. You start with what you know is fundamentally true, like the physics of it. You break a problem down to its most basic parts, and then, and only then, do you start building your solution from the ground up. The difference is huge. You're not just making an improvement, you're truly inventing. And this comparison really hits at home. See, most of the world lives on the left side of this screen, reasoning by analogy. We see a suitcase, we add wheels. That's a small improvement, right? But Musk lives on the right. He asks, what is fundamentally true here? And that question forces a totally new path, one that leads to game-changing breakthroughs. And here's the perfect example of this in action. With SpaceX, everyone in the industry said rockets cost a fortune, tens of millions of dollars. Reasoning by analogy would be trying to make them, 10% cheaper. But Musk asked a different question. He asked, what is a rocket actually made of? Aluminum, titanium, copper? He calculated the cost of just the raw materials and realized they were only about 2% of the final price. Think about that. That's when he knew he could build rockets for a tiny fraction of the cost. So having a revolutionary idea is amazing, but it's really just the start. An idea without execution is, well, it's just a dream. This brings us to the next part of the mindset, the engine that turns those first principle ideas into reality. And for Musk, that engine has 2 key parts: speed and people. Musk is completely obsessed with speed. And it's not about being reckless. It's a massive strategic advantage. He gets that progress is all about how fast you can learn. The company that can go from idea to test to feedback and back to idea the fastest, that's the company that's going to win. It's that simple. And this is the loop that makes it happen. Launch something, even if it's not perfect, get it out there. Then learn from how it does in the real world. And then adapt fast. For him, perfection isn't something you get by sitting in a room and planning for years. It's forged in the fire of just doing, learning, and refining, over and over again. But even if you have a brilliant idea and you're moving at lightning speed, you can't do it alone. This brings us from the how to the who, because the team you build is the other absolutely critical half of that execution engine. Now, this is so important. Musk goes out of his way to build teams that push him. He never wants to be the smartest person in the room. He wants people who will challenge his ideas, tell him what he's wrong, and just relentlessly attack problems. So you gotta ask yourself, are the people around you making you comfortable, or are they forcing you to grow?
Okay, so we've got the idea from first principles. We've got the engine of speed and people to build it. But what keeps that engine running? What fuels it through the long, brutal journey of trying to do something that seems impossible? Well, that brings us to our final 2 lessons, the psychological fuel you need to keep going.
Let's be real. Musk has faced a tidal wave of criticism. People said Tesla was doomed, that SpaceX was a joke. But here's the twist. Instead of letting that criticism become a fire that just burns you out, he flips it. He actually seeks it out and uses it as fuel. Every single doubt from a hater becomes motivation to fix a design, to work harder, and to prove them wrong. And that leads us to the final and maybe the most powerful piece of fuel there is. I want you to just pause and really think about this question for a second. The thing you're working on, your big goal, does it genuinely scare you? Just a little bit? Because if it doesn't, you might not be aiming high enough. I mean, that's the hard truth, isn't it? If you set safe, comfortable goals that you know you can achieve, you're guaranteed to get safe, comfortable, ordinary results. Musk aims for goals that sound insane to most people. Colonizing Mars, switching the entire planet to sustainable energy. Those are the kinds of scary dreams that have the power to actually change the world. So, we've walked through 5 really powerful lessons. But listen, this isn't just a bunch of fun facts about a famous entrepreneur. I want you to think of this as a real, actionable roadmap, a guide for applying this same kind of audacious thinking to whatever it is that you're trying to build in your own life. And here it is, all laid out. This is your roadmap. First, break problems down to their absolute basic truths. Then, move fast and make things better as you go. Surround yourself with a team that challenges you, that pushes you higher. Learn to turn criticism into fuel. And finally, dare to dream on a scale that actually scares you. At the end of the day, these principles, they're just tools. We've laid out the roadmap pretty clearly. But the real question, the only one that truly matters now, isn't about Elon Musk anymore. It's about you. The roadmap is clear. So, what are you going to build with it?